If you ever wonder how to make that beautiful blur background in portrait photography or food photography, or how to make all photo sharp like landscape photography or product photography, the aperture is key. In this video, I will be explaining what is aperture, how to choose good aperture, and what the f-stop number mean. And also, I will show you example of the photo with different aperture setting. What you straight away you will be see different, better understand what is aperture and how change your photography. Let's get started from beginning. What is aperture? Aperture is hole in your lens, and how much you open or close this hole, that's so much coming or less coming the light for your lens, and your photo is more bright or less bright. The aperture doesn't control only how much light's coming for your lens, for your camera. The same is about effect in depth of field. Depth of field is like how much your product, your subject is focused, but the background is blur. You can call this like effect bokeh or blur background or depth of field. That's you can know the name for that blur background. Now let's talk about f-stop number. This number represents the size of the aperture. You can have start number from f 1.2, 1.4, 2.0, 2.8, f8, 16. Where in the lens you can find that information, because when you buy lens you think about, okay, what is the f, the aperture. You can have here on the around this lens front, I have here on the top, or sometimes you have outside like I have here. That information is 2.8. I hope you see. Aperture is 2.8. Start from 2.8. This number, the lower number what you have on this lens, is more bright. If a bigger number and the lens is dark. What does it mean? If I choose like aperture 1.8, 2.0, 2.8, the subject is focused, but the background is really blur. But if you change this for f number, big number, f8, 16, is opposite. Everything will be focused. It's not blur. All photo will be focused. It's not easy to understand. Small number, big number. Small number, the f, you have a big hole inside and coming more lights for your lens. Big number f, you have small hole, and the same you have less lights. That is easy to understand. To really understand the aperture, I show you now one photo what I take with a little different aperture. I start from 1.44 to 16. 1.4 the aperture, the background is really blur, some part of the product is sharp. When I change this, I go bigger number, you see the background really is more, you see more details on the background than you see before, and your product is more sharp. When you really photography on aperture number 8, you see completely like the background product is focused, very sharp, everything is focused. On number 16 is completely everything around is focused. That's really what you see here is on this photo, is really how work the aperture. Let's talk about a little the depth of field. Depth of field is that like how blur is your background. Amazing for portrait photography, maybe some food photography. When you want focus on one product, everything around is blur. That is depth of field. When you use small number of the like 1.4, 1.8, 2.0, 2.8, you achieve depth of field what is like blur the background. But when you change the number for 5.6 or 6 or 7, you will see the depth of field little change. It's not that the background is not so blur. But you must only understand small number give you amazing depth of the field. That is the perfect when you want to achieve depth of field or blur background or effect bokeh. you can call that. And now when I explain you what is aperture, show on the photo how looks different when you choose different aperture, how photo change, how the background, the blur background change, you will be must to experiment and work and choose the best aperture for yourself. Give yourself 2 questions. First question will be how much I want my my product with focus and background blur. That's give me like think, okay, I want all background blur, I use small aperture. If I want less, you put aperture on middle, maybe 5.6 or 3.5 or 4.0, something like that. Another question, how much lights I have in the place when I work. This is important. If you have too much lights when you work outside, you don't need to put so low number the aperture, because you have enough lights for take shoot with this aperture what you have already. But if you work somewhere when it's dark, you don't have enough lights, you must put lower number the aperture, what coming more lights for your lens, for your camera, and you can achieve that bright photo. And this is exactly everything what I want show you about aperture. Now it's time for you to practice, take the photo with different aperture and understand how to work with perfect aperture for the shoot what you choose.